Hi, everybody. My name is Mary Bear Shannon, and I'm a reference librarian at the Haverford Township Free Library. And today's Reading with Reference is part of our Sneak Peek Week, where we are highlighting books that are just about to be published or have just been published and things we'd like to read. So my first book is The Splendid and the Vile, a saga of Churchill, family, and defiance during the Blitz by Eric Larson. You may remember this from his book, that's author from The Devil in the White City. On Winston Churchill's first day as prime minister, Adolf Hitler invaded Holland and Belgium. Poland and Czechoslovakia had already fallen, and the Dunkirk evacuation was just 2 weeks away. For the next 12 months, Hitler would wage a relentless bombing campaign, killing 45,000 Britons. It was up to Churchill to hold his country together and persuade President Roosevelt that Britain was a worthy ally and willing to fight to the end. Larson shows how Churchill taught the British people the art of being fearless. It is a story of political brinksmanship, but it's also an intimate domestic drama, drawing on diaries, original archival documents, and once secret intelligence reports, some released only recently. This is definitely a must-read for me. My next book is The Hour of Fate, Theodore Roosevelt, J.P. Morgan, and the Battle to Transform American Capitalism by Susan Burfield. She is an investigative journalist for Bloomberg Business Week. It seemed like no force in the world could slow J.P. Morgan's drive to power. In the summer of 1901, the financier was assembling his next mega deal, Northern Securities, an enterprise that would affirm his dominance in America's most important industry, the railroads. But then Theodore Roosevelt, a reformer, became president after McKinley was assassinated. He was convinced that as big businesses got bigger, the government had to check the influence of the wealthiest, or the country would inch ever closer to collapse. By March of 1902, the government sued Northern Securities for antitrust violations. But as the case ramped up, the coal miners' union went on strike, and the anthracite pits that fueled Morgan's trains and heated the homes of Roosevelt citizens went silent. With millions of dollars on the line, winter bearing down, and revolution in the air, it was a crisis that neither man alone could solve. My next book is Island Stories, An Unconventional History of Britain by David Reynolds. He's a British historian who is at Cambridge. In Island Stories, that offers a multifaceted new account of the last millennium to make sense of Britain's turbulent present. With sharp analysis and a vivid human detail, he examines how fears of decline have shaped national identity, probes Britain's changing relations with Europe, considers the creation and erosion of the United Kingdom, and reassesses the rise and fall of the British Empire. Island Stories is essential reading for anyone interested in global history and politics in an era of Brexit. And my last one is The Kidnap Years, the astonishing true story of the forgotten kidnapping epidemic that shocked Depression-era America by David Stout, who is a mystery and true crime writer. In a time of desperation in America during the Great Depression, parents struggled to feed their children, and unemployment was at a record high. It was also a time of lawlessness, with thugs and submachine guns and corrupt law enforcement officers. But amidst this panic, there was one true surefire way to make money, the one used by criminals and resourceful civilians alike: kidnapping. Stout explores the reports of missing people that inundated newspapers at the time. Stout takes the reader through the details of these abduction cases, from the methods used and the investigative processes to the personal histories of the culprits and victims. He ends with covering the most infamous kidnapping of the time, the Lindbergh baby kidnapping, which eventually led to the federal law passed against kidnapping in 1932. So those are my picks for the sneak peek. They're all, as you see, are just about to be published or have just been published. So be on the lookout for them. I do collect for the history collection at the library, so I am ordering all of them. So when we are back together again, you can order these books to read. So glad you could join us today, and have a great day.